Hey everyone, thanks for joining us for this week's edition of Merrimack Valley Chamber Means Business interview series. I'm really excited because I've taken over the interview chair and I'm chatting with Sarah Turcotte of Bridges by Epoch. Hey Sarah,
Hi, how are you this morning?
I am doing great. It's so exciting to see you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here to share a little bit more with you guys about bridges.
Absolutely. And let's just jump right in. Can you tell me what Bridges by Epoch is?
Sure. So, Bridges by Epic is a memory care assisted living. We're built the ground up to support those living with various cognitive impairments. Epic Senior Living has been in the senior care industry for over 25 years. We're a New England based company with our home office being right in Waltham, Massachusetts.
Wonderful.
And we have Bridges communities within Massachusetts, New Hampshire, as well as Connecticut.
That's so awesome. Now the Epic model, I know it's unique to you guys. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. So Epic is the organization that owns Bridges by Epic. So Epic Senior Living actually offers a few other senior care options from independent and assisted living, and those are known as their Waterstone properties. I work with the Bridges portfolio, so we specialize in memory care. It's all that we do. So each Bridges that is built, we are built the ground up to support those living with various types of dementias. So when we say that we're built the ground up, most of our Bridges communities are all on one level, which is really great because it's very small. We're not very large communities here. Our building in Andover, we have a total of 72 apartments, and
Okay.
many of our bridges have 54 apartments. So we're very much a small community, which is nice for the residents because the way we're built is we're built for our residents to be successful with navigating their environment. So when our residents, walk out of their private suite, they're walking out to, common areas that might be a living room, a library, a dining room.
Okay.
Being that we're all on one level, our residents also have the opportunity to get outside and walk outside for fresh air and sunshine to a secured courtyard area. So for a lot of our residents, especially because we are seeing folks with memory loss come in younger and more active, to be able to navigate and have those independent capabilities of getting outside and heading into the library to enjoy a coffee and newspaper, it's very empowering for the residents that live here.
Absolutely. And I want to talk a little bit more about that community design you have and like this, how those suites are set up and just how you're bringing home to these individuals.
Absolutely, absolutely. So every resident that lives here has a private suite. The majority of all of our residents and their families do set their apartments up individual to them.
Uh,
So when they walk in, they have their favorite pictures, they have their, familiar comforters. All of the apartments, before they walk in, they have a beautiful shadow box and nameplate so that they can become a little more familiar with their room.
okay.
Little things that help residents within their suite that are, kind of keeping the memory impaired person in mind. When you walk, little things like when you walk into the bathroom, it's not an all white bathroom. There's a lot of subtle color contrast going on to help people navigate the bathroom areas a little bit easier.
Okay.
Little features from the lights automatically turning on and off. And as I mentioned, the color contrast within the room. Also, kind of keeping the residents' independence in mind, each apartment has what we call a day closet as well as a regular closet. For some folks, kind of having just 2 or 3 options hung in a smaller closet, it's a little bit easier to make that decision rather than opening a whole closet of clothes.
Absolutely.
And those are just small features built within each resident's apartment. When residents walk out of their suite, little things like we don't have, long and winding hallways. When residents walk out, they're walking out to their living room, to their dining room areas, to their library areas, and they're all an extension to their home.
Okay.
And it's nice because each household has 18 apartments, so it's not overwhelming. Little things like when they go to meals, they're not going to a dining room that has 54 people. They're going to where there's 18, there's those close-knit relationships and the opportunity to socialize during the meals.
That
Um,
sounds absolutely perfect.
and I'd be actually a little remiss if you don't mind me talking a little bit about the meal program
Oh,
here.
please do.
So one of the things that, one of the great things Bridges is known for is our home style kitchen. The majority of our food here is freshly made and prepared. So little things like every dining room has a fully stocked kitchen. Breakfast is made to order in the morning. Lunch and dinner, there are always options, and we do show plates so we can show people, you know, would you like the beef or would you like the baked fish? So they can see those visuals. And if they don't like what the main options are that are prepared as the option, there's an always available menu. We also have a friends and family program here, which we're getting back to now that we're kind of getting back to, you know, the swing of things. But soon enough, our families will be back to our meal program where any resident who lives here can have a friend or family member come in and visit for a meal and enjoy that socialization with them.
Yeah, I have to say we just held the event at your place, the Mixer, and the food was delicious.
And that's what the residents eat here. It's really hard to stay on a diet, but I'm happy for them. You know, they deserve fresh cooked meals, and
Yes,
it's, you know, especially for the disease that we're specializing in, you know, fresh made food, fresh fruits. It's all important for their diet and for their brain health, and that's exactly what we want, you know, to help with. Um, the other program, if you don't mind me jumping
please
in,
do.
that we're mostly known for is our programming. We do a lot of fantastic activities, and we provide a fantastic lifestyle at Bridges.
Hmm.
Um, Actually, the Bridges program has won both national and local awards, which we're
Wow.
very proud of. It sounds kind of cliche, and my colleagues would laugh at me, but I always say we do a lot more than bingo and sing-alongs. Do we offer bingo? Of course. There's bingo lovers everywhere. And do we sing along and have music? Absolutely. But, you know, we're seeing folks come in younger, living with dementia, and they're active, and they, you know, want to go to the movies. They want to go to the museums. They want to go to the concerts. We actually even have at several of our Bridges communities residents who are working and helping local homeless shelters,
Wow.
where they're actually helping to cook and prepare a meal. Since COVID, we haven't been able to go and serve the meals like we're used to doing, but we're still preparing and delivering it to help our local communities. And we're really focused on that for our residents that live here, for providing them that sense of meaning and purpose.
Mhm.
And they build the program. You'd be surprised at some of the things these residents want to do at our resident council. I mean, I even had one resident council meeting where someone said they wanted to skydive, and that's on my bucket list. So I said, I can sign up for that if they can do it.
There
But, you
you
know,
go.
we listen to them, and we want them to do, you know, the hobbies and activities that are of interest to them. And it's our job to adapt the activity and
Mhm.
to break it down so that they're successful and have that enjoyment in participating with it.
Absolutely. And I love just hearing how much, like, again, you're adapting to the residents and you're involving the families so that they don't feel alone, which I think many people can feel. But beyond that, you don't just offer services for the residents and family, you offer programming to the community, correct?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you know, for the families that do live with us, it's really, you know, a true pleasure to be a part of their journey and to provide the support. You know, when families do finally make that decision or choose to move to Bridges, they get back to their relationship, being the daughter again or being the spouse again. And, you know, they get to come in and enjoy their time spent with their loved one and not really worry about the caregiver burdens. And they come in and have fun with the programs. We have family members that come in and enjoy the programs we offer. They were just ballroom dancing yesterday. I
Oh,
found
that's
it hard
awesome.
not to walk in myself. But besides, you know, the families that live here, like you said, we are a community resource, and it's something that I am so proud of. to work for Epic, because being a resource for memory impaired people and their families is something that we do best. You do not have to have a loved one living here at Bridges or ever have a loved one to live at Bridges to participate or take advantage of what we offer. Every month we have different educational topics for caregivers. It could be, maintaining brain health. It could be tips on how to prevent, not how to prevent, but tips to manage sundowning, how to have meaningful visits. We do all kinds of topics that help empower our caregivers with tools on their caregiver journey. We also have a very big following with our caregiver support groups. And these are programs that we used to once hold in person. And I have to tell you, since the pandemic, we have brought all of our offerings to the Zoom platform, and the attendance has grown. Well, yeah, it is wonderful. Well, A, because there was a need, but B, I feel like people got kind of immersed into this technology world and found, support and resources in areas that they, didn't know existed. And these caregivers, they come to the meetings, they connect with one another. Some of them, connect outside of the support group and support one another. And that's really huge. I mean, knowing that you're not alone and working and connecting with people who are living with what you're going through, it's such a blessing to be a part of getting those people together. Both of those groups are actually spearheaded by Alicia Seaver, who is our memory care specialist. And she has over 25 years of dementia care experience. So it's nice for these caregivers to not only have one another, but to have a professional there that can help, facilitate the group or also lend her piece of advice or resources that might be available to them. And then a few other groups that we offer to the community for people who are living with early stages of memory loss. We do have an early stage support group. And it's surprising to me how many people log on every month. You might not know this, but they say that 1 in every 6 mailboxes has someone with dementia living behind the door.
Wow.
So to be able to provide a platform for people living with memory impairment who can talk about it, who want to, find supports and resources, it's a wonderful group for people to participate with. And then lastly, we do memory cafes, and we're back to doing them in person.
Wow.
Our memory cafes, we did go virtual for a while. We have wonderful technology that we utilize here at Epic. One of them is what we call IN2L, which stands for It's Never Too Late. And we were actually able to, over the Zoom platform, work with IN2L to provide activity games over Zoom for people who had a loved one at home. But the true purpose of a memory cafe is to provide an opportunity for caregivers and memory impaired people to engage and socialize with one another.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as things started to lift and we had opportunities to get people back together, we are doing in-person memory cafes. Just last week here at Bridges in Andover, we had a picnic lunch where caregivers brought their loved one in, they had a freshly prepared picnic, and they got to enjoy an hour of musical entertainment. So it's just a resource. Like I said, you don't have to have a loved one living here to benefit from what we offer and to lean on us for that type of support.
It all sounds so wonderful, and I hope, not that I wish this on anybody, but I hope those that are dealing with this, whether it is the individual or the caregiver, that they continue to reach out, because again, that feeling of not being alone, I think, is very important.
Absolutely. It's very important, especially because everyone has different family dynamics. Some people are blessed to have, large and supportive families, and some people are smaller or have dynamics where they do feel alone. And you're right. That's one thing we don't want people to feel is alone. There are, if we're not the best resource for you, like I said, we pride ourselves on working with great local organizations and partners that have, opportunities. So if we're not going to be the best solution, or we don't have the resource that you're looking for, we're going to do our due diligence and try to find, what's most helpful for you.
That's
And
awesome.
I guess the only other thing I want to share just real quick about Bridges is that people that do or may find Bridges to be a good fit for them and their loved one, one thing that's truly different about us as a memory care model is that we are all inclusive. Regardless if you do a short stay with us or you're a full-term resident, we are all inclusive pricing, so we don't have all different fees or charges. It's one monthly rate or a daily rate, depending on, if you how you want to join the program or try out the program. And the other most important thing is even though we're in assisted living, we are specialized care. So we have 24-hour nursing, and our residents are able to age in place here, even through, the goal would be through end of life care.
Okay.
Because again, we work with great partners in hospice and medical providers that allow us to help keep our residents aging in place here.
That all sounds wonderful. Now, before we close out, can you tell the listeners and the watchers how they can get in touch with you, find out more about you?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, you can always go to any Bridges by Epoch website. Again, we are a local, a New England-based community. Right now in our Andover community, so you can go to bridgesbyepoch.com. Or you can reach out to me directly. I actually work with more than one Bridges location, and I've actually been with Bridges since the start in 2012. I can get you in touch with any one of our local communities, and you can reach me directly at 781-330-9424.
That's perfect. And I'll make sure to put that in the description. I thank you so much for talking with us. I've learned a lot today. And I
Thank you
really
so
hope
much
all of
for
it.
having me. Yeah, no, I'm happy to share the good word. Bridges is a special place, but I know I'm biased, so.
Well, we love it too. So thank you so much. And for those that are watching, make sure you always stay tuned to the Merrimack Valley Chamber Means Business interview series. Thanks and have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.